Photo shooting. 27 pilots in just one boat. It happened Sunday morning for F2's family photo shooting. The special occasion, a historic Norwegian boat at the Tonsberg harbor. Final chance. All pilots who didn't make it into Q2 at Saturday's qualifying had their final chance to qualify for the Grand Prix of Norway at Sunday's qualifying race. When the lights turned off, Mette Bjerknes had an impressive start, going right into the lead of the 20-lap race. After a few laps, she built up an almost 10-second lead over Vipo on second and Ruptemper on third. To the end of the race, Vipo closed the gap to the lead boat, but at the end it was Bjerknes to cross the finish line first.
Really good start, and when I was off, I was just off, and then I was first on the first turn, so it was just smooth right from there.
But after the race, everything changed when Mette Bjerknes got a penalty for not keeping her lane after the start. So all of a sudden she was out of the Grand Prix, and Owen Jelf, who finished 5th, moved up and gained the final starting spot for the Grand Prix. Race facts. It's the 4th Formula 2 Grand Prix of Norway in Tonsberg, and this year with a modified racecourse compared to the prior years. The new circuit has a length of 1.86 kilometers, 4 left and 2 right turns. The 50-lap race will be rough and overtaking very difficult. Start of the race. And 18 boats on their way to the first turn. But not even 20 seconds into the race, the red flag came up after Frode Sundstad and Rashid Al-Khamzi were involved in a massive crash. Both Al-Khamzi and Sundstad didn't get hurt, but this was by far one of the scariest accidents in F2 this season. What happened? Frode Sundstad was pushed by Ferdinand Sandbergen, so Sundstad spun and ended up right in front of Rashid Al-Khamzi, who had absolutely no chance to avoid this collision. For Sundstad and world champion Al-Khamzi, this race was already over after turn 1. Stop and go. At the restart, everything went right and all of the remaining 16 boats managed to get through turn 1. But this was just the start of a race with several full course yellows. It all started with Owen Jelf, who took out the turn boy in turn 2. Yellow was up for the first time. After the buoy was replaced, the race was started again, but it took only a few seconds and yellow was out again when Ferdinand Sandbergen and Stefan Hagen crashed while fighting for 3rd position. Both could continue the race, but Hagen was disqualified for causing this accident and moved out of the Grand Prix. A controversial decision which left Hagen with 0 points and losing his chances on the 2018 champion title.
We don't let us get down now, so we look up, and for the next race we will be back.
Back to the race with yet another restart and still 14 boats to fight for positions. Only 4 laps later, when Daniel Segenmark and Ferdinand Sandbergen were fighting for 5th spot, Sandbergen caught air and flipped out of the Grand Prix. Sandbergen was okay, but for the 4th and final time, the race was interrupted. Drive of the day. American BRENT DILLARD, currently 6th in the championship, gained the most places at the Norwegian Grand Prix. Dillard just made it into the race 15th on the grid, replacing disqualified Christian Carlsen.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for somebody else, but it worked in our favor, so we're making it in the final now. We don't have to do the repecharge race, even though I would have probably liked the extra laps to get more comfortable with this course. It's a very tough course. It's like an endurance race here.
Coming from 15th, Dillard stayed out of trouble the whole race and gained 1 position after another. After 50 laps, 1 red flag and 3 full course yellows, Dillard moved up 11 positions and finished 4th at the end. Also in the championship, Dillard moved up to 4th, still in touch to a championship podium. ALBERTO did it again. pole setter Alberto was unbeatable at the Grand Prix of Norway. From the start, the Italian was leading the race. At none of the 3 restarts, he really was in danger of losing his first spot. At the end, Alberto secured his second win of the 2018 season and is now in a comfortable 18-point lead in the championship. With 2 more races to come, he made a big step towards the championship title.
Yeah, this one is the most difficult one. It was many ways, so it was difficult, but in the end I couldn't make it.
Race for the podium. With unlucky Hagi not only losing points in the race, but his 3rd spot in the championship, the German dropped down to 5th. And Edgaras Riabko also missing to score in Tonsberg because of engine problems, the Lithuanian dropped from 2nd to 3rd in the overall standings. It was Tobias Muntikas who had the race of his life at the Norwegian Grand Prix. Starting 5th, the Norwegian pilot kept everything together at his home Grand Prix. Muntikas moved up to 2nd position when he was challenged by new star pilot Konstantin Ustinov till the end of the race. But Muntikas could defend his 2nd position till the checkered flag. So for the first time in his career, Tobias Muntikas makes it on the podium and also moves up to 2nd in the World Championship.
This was perfect. We had a great match race on Friday, and we had a bit of bad luck yesterday. But today we climbed from 5th to 2nd, so I'm really satisfied, and I'm also happy for the 1st place. So yeah, it's for Comparato. It's a dream. He loves Norway, I love Norway, and we are on home ground. So yeah, perfect weekend.
3rd crossing the line was new star pilot Konstantin Ustinov, and also 3rd on the podium. But later the technical inspection of his engine resulted in a disqualification. So Abu Dhabi pilot Rashid Al Tayer moves up to 3rd, making it his best ever result in Formula 2 as well.